You're listening to the Radcast, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. It's Friday, May 5th, 2023, our weekly marketing and business, advertising, and interesting news of the week, joined by, like always, the lovely Christina Yassi.
Wearing a hat. All three of us wearing a hat.
I know. Got a special guest in the studio today.
We do.
Mr. Chris Hansen's here. What's up, Chris? Co-founder of Genesis Reference Labs and my partner and co-founder on Vaycay. Hey, it's time to get away, buddy.
You know it, always.
Always in G Vegas. Glad to have Chris in the studio. We'll talk a little bit more about Vaycay, where we're headed with the brand, and a few updates there. But, you know, small talk is always here.
It is, and this is kind of big news. The Writers Guild is on strike. Writers Guild America is striking in pursuit of a livable working conditions and streaming residuals. Yeah, right. Adam Conover proposed that writers not have to adapt to, we're gonna try this again. Adam Conover proposed that writers don't have to adapt to AI output, which has been more present in the writer's room. And for as much as it's taking over, it cannot replace human beings. So this is pretty damaging.
It can't. And like, I totally respect where the writers are at here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, be careful. Like, you don't have the like the AI shit's got some
tricky.
leverage here. Like, be careful with how far you push this.
But I think what ends up happening, because I was talking to a couple of my actor friends about this, and not so much in the theater, but specifically in the film world, their like auditions have almost come to a standstill because they don't have scripts. And actor, if you find out that it's written by AI, it's like, well, is the whole script going to be written by AI? And you don't want to audition for it, and you don't, is it going to have the renewal rate that someone with a name?
Some script writer is going to figure out how to use this appropriately and start making a lot of money.
Yeah. Like, that's how I came up with the shot list this week.
Exactly.
Straight up was ChatGPT.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you got to use it. It needs to help you. You should use it to take some shortcuts, but you still got to have some creativity of your own.
Right.
At least to formalize the idea.
And how do they determine that? Like, what's to stop me from saying, read me a 2-hour movie script on a drama and a comedy? Can anyone tell it was written by AI?
Well, that's the big question. Like, and I guess it's how transparent you are and how good you are at using the prompts on ChatGPT to maybe enhance the story.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to use your own mind. And that's where like prompt engineering is like the word now.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
It's like going to become like a job.
It's my resume builder.
Just prompting me, baby. But asking the right questions, because it's an answer platform. And so it's all about asking the right questions. And once it gives you an output, again, asking another right question of, well, can you do it this or that?
Well,
like
a lot
adding
of it
in your own
comes down
spin.
to like the gray area with the strike specifically. It's the gray area of where does the copyright fall?
Well, that's what's interesting to me. And I thought that's where this was going. And I don't know if the article was quite touching on it, which is these machines, the AI is scraping the internet and formulating original thoughts, but they're original thoughts and writings based off of original writings from
other
copyrighted material.
Right.
So its knowledge base to write a hit song is based off of, well, this sure sounds really close to the Drake song, like whatever it might be. Well, because that's part of the influence. And I guess that's no different than a human being. We're all influenced.
True.
But is it how close to home is it to the original copyrighted stuff?
Right.
Is the question.
Right.
Versus, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's getting pretty good. I don't know if it can write full like sitcom scripts necessarily, but I wouldn't.
I'm asking it to write a monologue about cats in the voice of Aaron Sorkin. So.
Okay,
we'll come back to that. This could be good.
We come while it's formulating. We can move on to Heineken.
All right, let's get after it. Heineken plays matchmaker for gamers on a new platform. They're helping gamers connect with others who have similar gaming skills and interests via a new digital service that matches players based on skill level, availability, and favorite game, among other criteria, according to information shared with Marketing Dive.
Nice.
This is like Tinder for gamers.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yes.
Swipe left.
Sponsored by
exactly.
Heineken.
I like that one of the criteria is like how good you are, because you don't want to
exactly.
date a noob.
Yeah, can you beat Super Mario in 3 minutes?
That's
God, I'm so bad at Super
I
Mario.
know it's like Call of Duty now. Like I'm just aging myself by saying Mario, but like it's like, do you know the secret tour behind
right.
Whatever the insert newest game here that I can't think of? Halo 27.
Yeah.
But Heineken is releasing collectible editions of its packaging inspired by different types of games, role-playing games, sports, first-person shooters, and multiplayer online battle arena games. There's a QR code on the packaging that directs the consumer to
I mean, all jokes
date
aside,
platform.
look, the gaming is huge.
Huge
And so
industry.
for a brand to lean into this, if they pull it off right, you don't ever know. Like we read a lot of these articles and we don't have, unfortunately, hours upon hours to test every theory that is brought up in these articles or every experience. But what I do know is gaming is nothing to laugh at. The esports and all that shit is it's mind blowing how big it is.
and Twitch and everything. Oh yeah,
So-
They can
big
make
deal.
themselves the premier beer sponsor.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I personally hate Heineken. I think it
It's
tastes like piss.
disgusting, right?
But
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, they're never going to sponsor us. But I wouldn't want them to because I couldn't be authentic about it.
yeah.
I mean,
I almost bought a moisturizer, but I couldn't because it smelled like Heineken. I was like, ugh, no, unpleasant.
Heineken.
I get it.
But I like the play here. It's just
Yeah,
all
yeah.
about the execution.
Totally.
Right.
If it has the UI of Tinder, now you're talking. It's quick, swipe.
Swipe.
What's up with the words today, Christina?
We've been in the sun a lot. It's fine.
we were
We've had a
on
lot
a shoot
going on.
all day yesterday in the sun.
You have a contact high from the
There
lab.
is plenty of niche dating app, like Meet
Farmers Only.
whatever the one's called. So I mean,
It still exists.
Oh yeah.
couldn't
That's
tell
where
you.
my dad says he's going to find a second wife if my mom dies.
Haven't looked for a farm wife yet, but
Yeah.
no, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
We'll see. Just make your beer taste better.
You got some rad news for us?
Yeah, no. This week, Cesar Marin. Hey, microdosing's going mainstream. Speaking to that,
Case in point.
we're going to be talking more about that. We're on the cutting edge of all that. But in all seriousness, this guy had a very severe addiction to multiple things, but primarily smoking and relying on weed like 24/7. I don't personally have a problem with weed, but I think anything you're doing and having to rely on, while you're every waking moment is not good. And he got off of weed like in 2 weeks, like just microdosing and getting his head straight. And so it's being tested for Alzheimer's and like lots of stuff.
Depression,
And it's,
anxiety.
it's like, let's get out of our own way here. This stuff needs to be, it needs to be tested and done right, which we'll talk more about. But like, I really admire, because Cesar worked for CNN for 25 years. He was a legitimate executive producer, had a legit credibility.
Yeah.
And he's coming out and he's taking a stand for psilocybin mushrooms and like what it's doing for him. And he's not talking about getting high. I mean, he comes out and says like it's this minuscule dose that he takes. But I don't know. It was a fascinating interview. So if you've been hearing, reading, thinking about it, and you didn't check out this week's episode, that launched on Tuesday. Very fascinating. Got a lot of feedback or DMs on that on Instagram. So a lot of people are exploring, these things that you wouldn't expect. Yeah. And, it's time. We're going to make this stuff in a lab that gets people hooked on stuff and but there's natural forms of medicines and things that can, when used appropriately, be good for you.
Which
potentially.
We all forgot about. It seems like the pharmaceutical companies done such marketing geniuses the last 20 years, let's say. But there was a large point in time where I believed, it's coming from a doctor or a pharmacy, it's got to be healthier for me. Where at the very basis, I have to think anything natural to earth is here for a reason and better for you than anything synthetically derived.
Yep.
But yeah, the microdosing is huge. I mean, I know lots of people, myself included, on that path, and it's been extremely beneficial to me in a lot of ways. But and I think I saw yesterday, like Colorado, I think fully legalized, I believe. I don't know if it was recreational up to a certain amount, but it's happening. I mean, state by state, even if it's therapeutically where you're seeing a medical practitioner doing it, but It's getting a lot of traction. I think we're going to hear a lot more about it this year and in the next few years. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big fan of the minor amount of microdosing that I've experienced.
Yeah. Minor microing.
Yes, minor microing.
Next week, David Segura. Hey, this is going to be meta as it gets right here. CEO and founder of Glassbox Media. He's helping creators in the podcasting space kind of bring it all together with sponsors and creating IP around your shows and really organizing it. And he's really, pun intended, high on
I get it.
podcast in general, saying that the IP generated from podcasts will supersede even like TV and other things long term because of especially audio video ones. And so he's really helping people that have a good show, have a good concept, but don't have like a firm sponsor, IP, trademark, organization plan, and really helping them bring that along. There's a lot there. Yeah. So Glassbox Media. Yeah, exactly. Glassboxmedia.com. Check that out next week. Is a really good interview and really insightful if you have interest or have thought about starting a podcast. A lot of people have. But this will be a great starter episode for understanding the ins and outs for monetization, IP, content, etc. David was a very cool guest, and we really enjoyed. They actually invited me to a media event in New York next week, but I'm not going to be able to make it.
I'll go in your stead.
Yeah,
I volunteer.
You can. Actually, you can be a Radcast representative.
They
invited all the top show hosts to the upfronts for media buying. So, because podcasts has come so big.
We'll talk.
So, yeah.
We'll talk. I do it.
There you go.
So we went from glass box, now we're going to meat boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping in theme. Natural. You get a box with Good Ranchers, American meat delivered. If you head to www.goodranchers.com and use code RADCAST, just RADCAST, you will get $30 off your first box. This is the best time of year to order this because it's almost summer and it's time to grilling season, or again, in my case, cast iron skillet season. Have you broken out your grill yet, Ryan?
Are you kidding me? I multiple times. I had Good Rancher steak last weekend and some burgers.
I had chicken.
And I laid out some New York strips for the weekend this morning.
There you go.
So the grill is
lying
fired up and ready at the Alford residence. And the kids get excited. They see the steaks laying out. They're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, that's Good Rancher steak, son.
And they go, American meat delivered.
Delivered to the door. No, good friends at goodranchers.com, the official steak sponsor,
protein sponsor
of Ryan Alford and the Radcast. Let me tell you, and that's saying something because I like premium steakhouse quality at home.
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting every time from Good Ranchers.
No, I do not buy meat from the grocery store anymore.
No, you won't. Those Wagyu burgers, you throw them, take them out. I'm telling you, you will thank us for it. They've got so many promos going on right now. Go to their website, goodranchers.com, plug in Radcast, get $30 off, and you'll thank us later and invite me over for some steak.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in.
Swap recipes.
Yeah.
And support your small ranchers.
There you go.
Exactly. All farm raised in the U.S. This is the best meat you can buy delivered right to your door. Love these guys. On
to our social media news. I rolled my eyes when I read this one. Blue verified check marks are coming to, wait for it, Gmail.
Oh, lovely.
I know. Gmail is introducing blue check marks for verified senders, leveraging Gmail's brand indicators for message identification, or BIMI. The blue check mark appears next to senders' names, and users can hover over it to see a blurb confirming its authenticity.
All right. So I agree with the rolling of the eyes on this, like in its premise, but I will say this. Two things. I mean, there's a piece of advice here and there's an insight. Number one, anybody and everybody can sign up for Gmail. Like if there's anything that ever made sense maybe for verification, it's fucking email.
Yeah,
because
literally.
You get these random things and it's Gmail, and because it's Google, it has somewhat of credibility in not my mind, but a lot of people's mind.
Are through email.
But most of them are through email, and most of them are Gmail accounts. So it makes functional sense probably as much as any other verification.
Sure.
I will also say, if you run a business, I don't care if you're an influencer. I don't care if you have a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I don't care if you have a side hustle. Get your domainname.com on your email. If you email me and ask me to do a partnership with you or ask me to do something and you have a Gmail account, I delete it immediately. You aren't taking yourself seriously if you have a fucking Gmail account.
Right.
Like you need to have
$12 a month.
You need to have like,
I just got mine for Cry Comedy. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Christina at crycomedy.com.
Cry-comedy. Cry Comedy was $3,000, so we're holding off on that.
But still, but you have to have your freaking domain and your email address.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, if it's totally personal with relatives, fine.
And not the radcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely not.
Right, right.
That's
No,
the
nothing
workaround you
screams
see. It's like,
not
come on.
legitimate
Yeah.
faster than a business asking me to do something. I mean, literally, I probably get 200 sales emails a week. We all get them, like different things, pushing things. And sometimes the email's fairly well written. It might even be a service I might consider. But if it's at gmail.com, delete, because that just means, one, you don't take your business seriously. 2, you don't understand marketing, or 3, you're just so cheap you didn't buy your fucking.
Right.
You are.
domain.
I'm really passionate about
If you're
this.
not going to invest in the
Clearly,
basics.
because it bothers me
Right, yeah.
that people don't like. It's such an easy step. You can do it in 10 minutes.
Right. It's a good gauge of how is someone really going to put in some work and a very small amount of money for credibility and legitimacy.
And look, they have to have a lot more than just that, but look, that's just like table stakes, you know, like to be legitimized. But the blue check is a little odd. I wish they'd called it something else, because I agree it should be. It is weird though, because you don't know who's scam not these days.
Oh my gosh,
Especially
I know.
consumers. So
It's wild.
yeah.
We got some YouTube news. Back to YouTube Shorts. They are embellishing short ads as monetization struggles endure. Shorts and in-feed video ads are extending into video reach campaigns, which use artificial intelligence to serve the ideal combination of ads. Targeting solution YouTube Select will also be compatible with Shorts to pair ads with trending content.
You know, YouTube's getting eat away at a little. Like, it's still the biggest video platform in the world. So let's not. I'm not gonna like.
Right,
cry for
we
them.
don't feel bad for them.
I'm not crying for them too hard. Crack comedy, but I will say that they are having their lunch eating a little bit on short form with TikTok and even Reels to a
Reels.
degree,
Yeah.
of course. So because if you're just kind of mindlessly, I will say my kids are on it though a lot, because I won't let them get on social media yet, but. So they got to monetize.
There's the most money for creators on YouTube still. It's the hardest algorithm to break into, but
yeah, no, it's freaking a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, it's taken 5 years to get like 1,000 views on a Radcast video. Like,
I know.
You can like randomly get that on a TikTok if it just, it's like
in
remotely
an hour.
interesting.
It's wild.
Yeah. I mean, you got 100,000. I mean, like, and so YouTube is hard to break in, but it makes sense that they are improving their ad platform.
Yeah, it keeps them competitive.
Yeah. So I will say this. I do think there's more credibility within YouTube. I like YouTube a lot as an ad platform with influencers or within what they're selling here, these ad platforms. I think it's got a touch more credibility than some of the stuff you see on TikTok or Instagram sometimes. Like,
it's the closest thing to a traditional advertisement.
TV ad.
Exactly.
It's the closest thing to that kind of.
Probably of interest. It's probably the most expensive to advertise on.
It is expensive, but I think it works if you have the right targeting and right ad.
Well, it tells you that if you're
and sometimes you
advertising,
can have everything right on Instagram and it flops like crazy.
Right.
And you don't know exactly why. You're like, good piece of content, you got good targeting, and it's like,
if I see an ad on YouTube, I take it as more credible than an advertisement on Instagram.
Totally.
yeah.
That's interesting insight. Meta has now said that Meta says AI is improving ad efficiency as revenue growth returns. Meta Platforms revenue grew in the first quarter, according to an earnings release. The news suggests that the social media giant is showing signs of a turnaround following several quarters of declines. This is because of AI.
Yeah. What was the rationale for what the AI is buoying advertising? AI tools increase monetization efficiency for Reels. Okay. So they're using AI to improve the ad platform, which improves their profitability.
And
that makes
algorithm.
sense. I thought maybe it was like creators using AI and maybe putting more ads in the system because they can generate them faster. Because that might be happening too.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't even think
everybody's
about that.
kind of, you just say, hey, ChatGPT, make me an ad, right? I mean, like it's
No,
a little
absolutely.
more than that, but
I have our cat monologue finished in the voice of Aaron Sorkin.
Oh boy, here we come. But I will say this, and Chris and I were talking about this, I don't know, yesterday, the day before. Facebook is not dead. I mean, there's still a lot of people that have never migrated off of Facebook to go anywhere else and to still live there.
I get booked for a lot of comedy shows through Facebook.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's the main platform people will contact me on, which is weird.
Yeah. And like Facebook Messenger, I mean, I'd still get, you know, every crazy uncle and, you know, third cousin.
Every birthday, it's like, are you still living?
Right.
Like, you follow my stories, right? I put those stories together just for you.
Happy birthday.
I keep putting stories out so you can keep along with everything, so I don't have to actually call you.
Right. But I still stair step what I post because like certain people don't follow me, like family members are only on Facebook. So I just like don't post things on Facebook.
Yeah. You can be a little choosier.
Yeah. A little more private.
It's a different demographic almost.
This next one is great news. TikTok opens up its revamped creator fund to all eligible creators in the US. So they launched the Creativity Program Beta, a revamped creator fund available to all eligible creators. To qualify, you just need to have, you need to be in the US and have at least 10,000 followers and 100,000 views in the last 30 days. The program rewards higher average gross revenue for qualified videos and offers an enhanced dashboard with analytics and insights. Keep making money.
Yeah.
I got to get more followers.
You know, it's interesting where it's going to go with all this stuff. Like, you know, Twitter's now making you pay to have the check and like to get more awareness, which is essentially like running ads. Like, I think you're going to see this interesting world we're going to move into where you pay more to get the social content that you get every day now. Mm-hmm. Like, no, I'm not about like next year, but eventually, because it's becoming the entertainment of, it's the TV of now.
Well, and
like
you buy
cable to watch cable news or sports or whatever. And creators have to get paid if they're going to keep doing this, you know, the ones that you actually want to watch.
And it's so time consuming. I mean, it is a full-time job.
You know, it's going to go there because look at Instagram with the, what is it called? The exclusive, where you can pay
like the exclusive content.
Yep.
Can subscribe.
And honestly, prime example, OnlyFans. People have people paying every month for whatever. And some of it's not risque stuff.
Right.
You have comedians with OnlyFans and musicians and whatnot. So I think you're right, an indicator.
I think it's going to be more of that than we even think eventually for what you pay. Content's not free to make. And so the way it's worked so far is they make these platforms free so that they get volume of eyeballs, which then they could do ads. Yeah. But as the ad revenue goes down, so that's what, you know, Elon Musk has done. Their ad revenue had gone down, so he was charging people because you're getting awareness on my platform. Right. It's like, again, it's ads for me. You know, individual personalized. Like, if you want more awareness, you're going to have to pay to get more awareness.
It's like advertising the newspaper nowadays. It says Twitter is the public forum now.
And so we're going to have to put the genie back in the bottle a little bit because everybody's conditioned for this stuff to be free for so long. Yeah. And, you know, like back in the day, you would have never complained that if I've got to pay to run an ad on TV no, it's just common acceptance that that's what you had to do to get that reach. Yeah. And now the reach has been quasi-free.
Democratized.
So it's going to be interesting how that all comes around. But look, TikTok's doing the smart thing. They've got a good thing going. They're revamping, making it easier for their creators to get paid. And they're leaning into it, at least.
I think it also,
all the organic reach they're already getting.
Yeah, it also kind of covers their skin with trying to get shut down. Because
competitive edge.
Right. And if it becomes, you know, even more a piece of people's livelihoods, it'll be absolute chaos if the platform gets banned.
If you got people making money, they're going to push back on any ban.
Exactly.
If I just wish they worked on the messaging UI.
Oh my God, it's so bad. Nightmare. It's so bad.
I don't even I can't even deal with it.
I know. I completely agree with that.
You can't message, you contact people like
no.
It's just
that's why everyone has their like Instagram and their bios.
Mess of things. I really don't. I need like a syllabus or like a manual for how to do the messaging on TikTok because like it's like your connection who you followed liked you and say hi to them.
Right.
Or did they say hi to me?
Right. Is that a message or
is this a message from God, or like did they wave at me like back? Wasn't
it's
that
like sending flair
Is
on
there a
Facebook?
reason that I should
Facebook
message
flair.
them hello? Is there something you know
I
that I
love
don't?
flair.
throw me a bone here.
Right.
Like I'm just trying to like message somebody and like okay.
Social media.
Yep.
Again, we got to end it on some food related articles because it's lunch for us. Popeyes is celebrating New Orleans in their first campaign with their new marketing agency, AOR McKinney. The campaign is called "We Don't Make Sense, We Make Chicken," which I think is great. It'll launch digitally this month with nationwide out-of-home and television spots set for June. The effort also allows consumers to search for the brand's mascot, Poppy, through an interactive commercial on the chain's website. Popeyes is just everywhere now.
They've been thinking about how big their
sandwich.
campaign was on the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was viral.
That was viral.
Yeah.
It was just funny, like being in the ad business. I haven't seen AOR in a while. That's agency of record. I didn't know they even handed those out anymore. McKinney, who is a pretty large agency. Have you eaten at Popeyes?
Yeah.
Is it? I haven't eaten that. I ate the chicken sandwich,
it
was pretty delicious.
Right.
Yeah.
When that whole craze happened a couple years ago, but I haven't had anything else there or a meal.
Me neither.
Like
Since
so,
then.
I have no real gauge here on the.
Yeah, no, I've never eaten there.
Okay.
The sandwiches were good, but I never went back.
Yeah. Is it like KFC quality, or is it a higher level, or we're getting a nod from our producer Sawyer? Sort of.
You a fan? Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is that Church's Chicken line on Augusta Road
Oh
at
my
3:30 is I'm on
Wrapped
stock in
around.
Church's Chicken wrapped
Dude.
around. I don't know what it is about 3:30. I mean, like it is.
I've heard it's amazing.
It is.
Maybe there's a deal.
Is it? It must be like maybe like one of those like to have Taco Bell has like the
Get a
third
bucket
meal,
for
second
half
meal
off.
at like
Oh,
$3,
yeah,
three
yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
Maybe it is because that line
possible.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a
that's,
nightmare on Augusta.
I'm watering down Popeye's moment here on our show.
It's an hour and
by
a half
talking
before
about
3:30.
churches.
We can pop over there and see what
Hey.
There you go.
Get in
Hand
there.
out
what's
some
all the
gummies.
rave about.
Yeah, that's a vacay in itself.
There you go.
We don't make sense. We make chicken.
I think it's a great line.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like it. I want to see. This is kind of makes me want to watch some of the spots specifically because I didn't see them. But McKinney's a good agency. They're creative, though. I'm sure it's a good campaign. But I can't believe anyone's still agency of record. Most of these brands have like 15 agencies now, and no one's actually the agency of record. This is the
Everything
old
comes
ad
back.
guy geek talk in me. So pardon me.
Hits blunt. This next article, Jim Beam encourages togetherness in an ad that's set to Sweet Caroline by good old Neil Diamond. This came out on Monday, May 1st. In the new spot, there's a 15-second, 30-second, and 60-second version set to the song Sweet Caroline as a bar full of people sing along, emphasizing the importance of human connection. The campaign will air across broadcast, streaming, social media, and digital channels. It's set to launch in additional markets later this year. This is a direct reaction after COVID. I think it's brilliant. Alcohol brings people together. Baseball brings people together. And when you hear Sweet Caroline, you think about all those things.
How can you I can't even read the word Sweet Caroline without starting to sing it.
Right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, bum, bum, bum.
It's so good.
Sweet
So good.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a
But yeah.
hype-up
Yeah.
song.
Michael Jordan even sang on this, but Michael Jackson sang on these microphones. And so
Thriller.
occasionally,
Barely know it.
You just built that in the song.
just have to rip it out.
Singlerella.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This seems fun. I mean, I don't like Jim Beam personally, but
We're not
he's
talking
kind of a
about the
dick.
alcohol. We're
I'm
talking
kidding.
about
He
Talking
does
about the
have
ads.
his son makes a second label
It'll-
that's actually pretty tasty. But
It's probably going to turn into a trend. You're going to start. I bet you baseball stadiums are going to start. They already play it, but they're going to play it, and I think you're going to see this turn viral to some
Yep.
degree.
Yeah, I can see that.
taking shots at Jim Beam.
Sweet
Just
Caroline.
singing Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like every Friday night in some city in America.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of drunk dudes singing Sweet
I
Caroline.
know. I like they pickle shots, dill pickle juice.
Dickle
Yeah.
pickle.
Yeah,
Oh.
but that's usually Hennessy or Jameson or something. I think.
Yeah, or
I
Dickle
don't know
whiskey.
Oh yeah, that's some Irish.
Yeah.
That's an Irish
So
thing.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it's Jameson.
Might try it with Jim Beam. Might make it taste better. I'm really dogging on all the liquids today. I don't like Heineken or Jim Beam, but
Hey,
Mick Ultra, though.
You know what you like.
Ultra?
You'll fuck with some Mick
yes,
Ultra.
I do like Mick Ultra.
And some Coke Zero.
Hey, got to keep my girlish sugar around here.
Watch those carbs.
You know it.
So,
That's
Chris,
what we got.
let's talk Vaycay for a minute.
Yeah.
Excited to be partnering with you, and we got a lot. We've been over at the factory today. I mean, dude, it's been a busy week.
Two Willy
very
Wonkas
busy
over
week.
here.
I know. We were,
I
know, like watching how the donuts got made. Yes.
We got a little first-hand view of it. Yeah.
I know.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Working on some new stuff.
I know. I'm excited. We talked about psychedelic mushrooms earlier.
Yeah.
We've got a mushroom product coming out. How would you describe this for people that are listening? Like, the whole functional mushroom.
Functional mushrooms.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all familiar with mushrooms. We eat them, and for some reason, we only think about them eating. We don't think about it as
sauteed on a steak.
Right, or, chicken, like what you had last night.
Yeah. Manchego chicken.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. Functional mushrooms really, I mean, there's tons of great qualities, benefits to mushrooms. What we're kind of looking at is the functional mushrooms like lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, really brain boosting supplements. You can even say nootropics. I mean, now we're seeing just, it's helping regrow cells in your brain, your memory, your focus, your cognition. I mean, for me, I've noticed my caffeine intake in my coffee has went down because I think everyone's looking for more energy in the day, more of a boost, right? So I started getting into it maybe a year and a half ago, taking some mushroom blends just in the morning with my coffee, and probably within a week I could tell the difference. I mean, I swear by it. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be a product that people are going to love.
I like to say we're going to make alternative wellness the only alternative.
Yes. That's the goal.
It doesn't need to be alternative wellness.
Right.
It needs to be natural wellness. That's what's crazy is like we have to call it these things because the things that come from the ground, are alternative.
Right.
But if it's made in a lab with 1,700 chemicals that do whatever to you, then it's okay.
Right.
How twisted is that when you really think about it?
Planet Earth has done pretty good thus far at sustaining us for the hundreds and thousands, some say billions of years. It wasn't really until the 50s that the pharmaceutical industry and synthetic stuff started coming about. So, I think there's, like you said, it's crazy when you think about it like that. It makes the most sense.
Yeah. That we'd at least go down that path further than we have at this point in the 2023,
Right. And I think the reason we haven't explored that path was it's money. Yeah. You can't patent it. If it's natural to planet Earth, you can't patent it. So, but I think it's an exciting time. I think people are getting a lot of awareness about this. And people are looking for something else. I mean, we know what's out there. Clearly, there's still people looking for different things that are better, healthier, more organic. There's a huge push right now. Organic everything. Everyone wants natural. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna
give it to them.
We're gonna give it to them,
and we're gonna destigmify it along the way.
It's a fact.
Takeavaycay.com. Check us out. Lots of exciting things happening and natural ways to relieve stress, pain, anxiety, a lot of different things. So excited about that. And you can follow us on Instagram at vaycay.global. Got a couple accounts, but that's the best way to get to us. So Chris, where can everybody keep up with you on social media?
Instagram, Chris Broby Hansen, Broby. Or you can shoot me an email at chris@takeavaycay also.
There you go. Any final words there, Christina Gassi?
No, I got a cat monologue to read once we end this thing.
There we go.
We're good to go.
Let's have at it. Cat monologue generated by ChatGPT.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah. Why not?
This is the short version. The first one it came up with in the voice of Aaron Sorkin was 6 paragraphs long.
All right,
this one's only one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the enigma that is the cat. These creatures, from house cats to lions and tigers, have captivated and bewildered us for millennia. They are paradoxical beings, both aloof and affectionate, independent and needy. Cats challenge our expectations and represent the wildness within us all. Their unpredictability and refusal to conform remind us that life isn't always neat and tidy. So embrace the mystery of cats, for in the end, it's the untamed and unexplained that makes life truly worth living.
Okay, I'm going to say this. That might be the best explanation of what cats are like I've ever heard. Yeah. Because, like, you know, we all go. They kind of.
I get it.
You know,
on the level.
Of course,
I feel like I understand cats more. After hearing that,
I do.
Because I lean more towards dogs.
Yeah, I kind of want to punt a cat sometimes, but like because they don't like you. They don't like people. Like, you know, I like people that like me. I wouldn't everyone, but
sure,
any
Marshall
of them.
Can be the exception.
Marvelous Mr. Marshall being the exception because he sounds like he's loving.
Oh, he is.
See,
there's good ones.
Most cats don't like people. Like a lot of them.
You haven't been around enough cats.
Nah,
so bring your cat to the office day.
Is your cat nice?
A little bit more than dogs.
Is it like affection?
Yeah.
See, but
cats are consent creatures.
Can you guys admit on a 1-to-1 basis, cats don't generally love that type of affection as much as dogs?
Maybe I've just been, I don't know. I've always preferred cats to dogs, and the ones I've had have always been insanely affectionate toward me in a way that dogs haven't been. My cat runs to greet me. My dogs don't.
The cat whisperer. That should be you know.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Those are
my final words.
Double P.
Final words.
Yes, we're going to leave it there. You know where to find us. Search for Cat Whisperer. You'll find all of today's highlights and way too much about cat monologues from Christina Yassi. You know where to reach us, radcast.com. You have all the highlight clips from today, all the full episodes. We've just uploaded a ton of new stuff, all the video, the full videos, the short video. We do short. Look, if you aren't following us on Instagram, you need to. We do 10-minute condensed versions of each episode. For all you people with ADD like me, you need to get on there. That 10-minute version, you get all the nuggets in 10 minutes, the video. Go to Instagram, the.rad.cast. I'm at Ryan Alford on all the platforms. You know that. For Sawyer on the ones and twos, Christina Yassi, my man, Chris Hansen. I'm Ryan Alford. We'll see you next time, the Radcast.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.